So hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Raymond, and for this video, I'm going to be sharing to you guys my top 10 favorite books of 2021. And I know it is late. It is already April and I am still filming my top favorite books of 2021. But it's better late than never. This is actually my first time doing top favorites of the year because I believe 2020 I did not have any videos regarding my top favorites of the year. But anyway, I hope I can do this properly, and at the same time, this is also like a recommendation video to everyone because these books are the books that I really fell in love last year. These books really give me the reason why I love reading books. So anyway, I have again top 10 favorite books, but before I begin or I reveal my top 1 favorite book, I will be mentioning 5 honorable mention in this video. So technically we have 15 books here. So without further ado, let's start this video. So coming in at number 10 is this one, which is Christine Hanna's The Four Winds. This is a historical fiction novel, and we follow our main character in this one, which is Elsa, not the Frozen, but Elsa Martinelli, and this is set in Texas in the darkest days of Great Depression, which is the Dust Bowl era, and I believe that is around 1934. So this novel is really emotional because we are following these characters, Elsa and her family, together with her neighbors, as they are trying to make choices they make either to fight for their land in Texas or go west to California to live their American dream. So this is a story about tragedy. It is a story about love, family, and the character in the eye of a woman and a mother and her family. So it is really an emotional book. I really did cry over this book, especially the ending of the story. You will really feel that the decision making this character is giving. Christine Hanna is also the author of The Nightingale, and I really did enjoy that book. This book, The Nightingale, is actually my top 1 favorite book from 2020. Like, this is the only historical fiction that made it into the top 1 on my list every year, because usually my top favorites is either fantasy or contemporary romance, but this one is the first ever top 1 historical fiction top favorite of the year, which is the year 2020. So if you want to start reading historical fiction, go and read Christine Hanna's books because it is really emotional and also informative, because I really don't know anything about Dust Bowl era. I really don't know what kind of era is that one. I don't know if I missed that during my history class during my school days, but technically I was really curious and I did research with the Dust Bowl, so it is really informative. You will really learn a lot with this story, with this era. And for my favorite quote, it is, "History has shown us the strength and durability of the human spirit." So again, this is my top 10 favorite of 2021. Coming in at number 9 is this one, which is Dial A for Aunties by Jessica Susanto. And this one is a mystery novel, or like a mystery thriller or a comedy thriller. I don't know, but with this one, it is a funny story because we are following Madeline Chan, and she accidentally killed her blind date. So thinking of it like you are in a Tinder date and somehow you kill your date. And with this one, who to call, not Ghostbuster, but these aunties. And these aunties are really a comedy. It is really pure laugh like reading this one. And I am really happy because April is the release of the sequel of this one, so I am really excited about that one. And I really wanted to read that so badly, but April is a fantasy reads for me. But again, this one, a total recommendation if you wanted to laugh. It is like a How to Get Away with Murder kind of vibes, but make it more comedy, more fun, and more informative and more Asian, because with this one I really do love the Asian representation and I really can relate to it. For further research, this book is actually a contemporary romance. So again, I really do love the family dynamics also with this one. The characters really do love it, and it was just really pure fun. Like if you wanted to read books that is really fun, really fast, because it is a well-written novel, fast-paced book, go check this out. And I actually remember I have a reading blog on this one, and I will link it on the iCard so you can guys check it out. So at number 8 is a romance book, and it is this one, which is Every Read by Nicholas Sparks. And this one, it is an adult romance book, and we are following two main characters, which is True and Hope. And Hope is actually the kind of character who has this kind of relationship or like boyfriend who is an orthopedic surgeon, and somehow they have been in a relationship for 6 years, but they don't have any plans on getting married. And this character Hope is going to Sunset Beach to her cottage, her family cottage there, just to have a vacation. On the other hand, we have True's character who is also going to Sunset Beach because he received a letter that is claiming to be his biological father and somehow also dying. So it is going to be like an emotional first meet up with his father. And True hopes to unravel all of the secrets of the early life of his mother, at the same time his first meet with his father, who is somehow again dying. These two characters, Hope and True, will meet each other at Sunset Beach, and the question here is, how does true love last? And with this one, it also talks about a lot of things, especially with second chances, about again true love, about family, about relationship. At the same time, it is also talks about, you know, destiny. So I really do enjoy this book so much because it really tackles a lot of things about love. You will also question all of their decisions. It talks about fate, about love, about relationship. Ano? Paulit-ulit. You will also question as a reader if their decision is correct or not. If you wanted to have an adult reading about love, about relationship, go pick this book, because with this one, I also fell in love with the characters. At the same time, I also cried with this book, like teary-eyed with the book, because it was just really a good writing style. Like Nicholas Sparks is really good when it comes to his writing style. At the same time, you know, the story itself is just really it will make you move. It was really a beautifully well written novel and well written romance book. So if you're looking for an adult romance, go and pick this book. So for my favorite quote, it is actually, memories are the doorway to the past, and the more one treasures the memories, the wider the door will open. So I really do love that quotation so much. And again, this is the top 8, top 8 on my list for 2021 favorites. So coming in number 7 is another contemporary, and it is this one, which is Concrete Rose by Angie Thomas. And this is the prequel of The Hate You Give, and I really do enjoy this book so much. It is a YA contemporary novel, and we follow Maverick, who is somehow became a father at a younger age, and his father is actually in prison. So can you imagine, his father is in prison because of a gang life, and now he is a father at the younger age. What will happen to you at a younger age becoming a father? So that is really the question of this one. And it also talks about a lot of things, especially with racism, drugs. There are a lot of bigger warnings in this one, but technically I did enjoy this one because, you know, when it comes to prequels, I really am afraid of reading it because, you know, prequel is somehow a hit or miss for me. So with this one, it is really a hit, and it also talks about family, relationship, and, you know, responsibilities, and lack of opportunity. I think one of the most important also here is making the right choices as a father, and, you know, as a human being itself. You know, that is really one factor in this one, because we are following at the eye of Maverick, which is the male character or the main character in this book. So yeah, I hope you guys can read this one because it is really, really a good book. Like, Angie Thomas is really a good writer, because I've read The Hate You Give, On the Come Up, and this one, and I actually gave all of it a 5 out of 5 stars. And yeah, with this one, go check it, because, you know, it is really important and it is really, really good. So again, my number 7 on the list. So number six is actually I don't have a copy, and it is this one, which is Aristotle and Dante Dive into the Waters of the Universe. And I gave this book a maximum 5 out of 5 stars. I really did felt the emotion of this one. This story is we follow Aristotle and Dante as they discovered the universe. That's it. I just wanted to say that, like, I don't want to steal anything. I'm not gonna say more about the synopsis of this one because this is the sequel of Aristotle and Dante discover the secrets of the universe. And to be honest, these titles are really long, but anyway, yeah, but basically this story is really good when you don't know anything about it. To be honest, when I first read the first book, because the first book I reread last year, and I first read it way back, I think 2016. I actually did not like it. Like, it wasn't 3 stars for me, but when I reread it, it was really a total awesomeness. Like, I really felt the connection with the character, the emotion of this story was just really genuine. It was just really a powerful story, a powerful novel. I think one thing that I would remember with this one, with this book, is that accepting yourself despite of having your own flaws, because we have our own flaws. We have different flaws, and we have to accept it because that's how we are. Like, that is who you are. That is how I am. And I really do love it. I really do love that it really centers a lot of things with this book. At the same time, we have our own purpose in life. We have our own purpose on why we live and why are we living. So I think that is also one factor I love about this book, is that, accepting a lot of things, and accepting the universe as a whole. It was a heartwarming, it is a heart-wrenching story. I just really do love the writing style of this one. It was just really poetic. So again, I recommend these two books. Coming up at number 5 is this one, which is Instructions for Dancing by Nicola Yoon. So Nicola Yoon is actually the author of Everything Everything and The Sun is also the Star. Both of that books I really did enjoy. I think I gave it like a 5 and 4 stars. And with this one, I really did give it like a maximum also 5 out of 5 stars because it was really unexpected. This is actually less than 300 pages, but the emotion that I have with this one was just really unexpected because it is really basic, to be honest. This book is a YA contemporary romance, and we are dealing with dancing. So that's the only thing I know before reading this book, and neither did I know that this one is actually a different kind of story. Like, I did not expect it, but basically the main character of this one is actually like That's So Raven. Like, she has a vision. Like, her name is Evie, not on the Mobile Legends, but Evie Thomas. So Evie Thomas is actually, she has the ability to have this kind of vision. And Evie's character in this novel, she actually doesn't really believe in love anymore. So she has this kind of vision wherein when she saw two couples, or like one couple rather, and once she saw it, she can see the future on how this couple will break up. Her vision is really negative, but at the same time, that's really the story revolves around with this one. And I really do enjoy it because at the first time, I did not know it. And the unexpected turn around at the end of this book was just really unexpected. And I just really cry over it. And yeah, so if you wanted that kind of story, you want this kind of like magical realism in the story, go check this book because Nicola Yoon is really good when it comes to her writing style. I really do love her writing style. It was just really simple. It is a short book, at the same time it is really impactful. So with this one, go check it because it was really an enjoyable read. And if you want a fast read, go check this book because again, it is less than 300 pages. So number 5 on my list. For my favorite quote, it is actually emotional because it says here, "It doesn't matter that love ends. It matters that there is love." So I remember a lot of scenes in this book that is really emotional. So guys, go pick this book. So number 4 spot is actually the book that I've read twice last year, and it is Verity by Colleen Hoover. And if you haven't read this book, why? Why haven't you read this book? Because this book is just really amazing. It is a thriller novel, and I actually read this again twice. This is actually the first book that I read for 2021, and my reread is actually during October, November, during the anniversary of the Blu-ray book club. This book will question yourself on, like, this book will give you an opportunity to decide on what ending you want. Like, you will really be intrigued of what ending you want to believe in. So with this one, it's either team manuscript or team letter. The first time I read this book, I am actually team manuscript. And then on the latter part, the second time I read it, it is team letter. This book is really a good book to reread because you really wanted to see a lot of like clues if what is right and what is not right. So yeah, again with this one, it is a thriller novel, and I'm not gonna say more about this book because it is really a overhyped book. But basically, if you haven't read this book, you are missing a lot. Like, you really need to read this because it was just really a mind-blowing story. So again, top 4 on my favorite books of 2021. So for my top 2 and top 3, it is actually both books from the series, and it is these two books, Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare and Chain of Iron by, of course, Cassandra Clare. So this one is actually, these two books really saved my life during the time that I was so down. This book gave me a lot of emotions because of the characters. I really do love the characters of this one. And Chain of Gold, Chain of Iron, and the next book, I believe it's Chain of Thorns, that comes out this year, 2022. It is actually the sequel of the prequel of the original Shadowhunter series. So this is the sequel of the Infernal Devices, which consists of Clockwork Angel, Clockwork Prince, and Clockwork Princess. So this one, we are following the sons and daughters of the characters from the Infernal Devices trilogy. So with Chain of Gold, we are following Cordelia Carstairs, that is somehow a shadow hunter. She was trained when she was young. She is a warrior, and somehow her father committed a crime, like, allegedly. So now she and her brother is going to London to, like, have this kind of reputation, to redeem the reputation, going to London. And other than that, there is actually a demon attacking the Institute of London that the Shadow Hunters haven't fight before. So that is really interesting. And again, I really do love the characters of this one, especially with this one, with Chain of Iron. There is a lot of characters that is really lovable. The diversity of this two, or this trilogy, was just really amazing. I really do love the characters so much. And if you love character-driven novels, go check this book. It is actually my favorite like fantasy series so far with the Shadowhunter, because we have a lot of series from the Shadowhunter world, and this one, Chain of Gold, Chain of Iron, and the upcoming Chain of Thorns, is actually, like, my favorite so far. So before I reveal my number 1 favorite book of 2021, I am going to share to you guys 5 honorable mention, and let's go with number 5, which is this one, which is Kate in Waiting by Becky Albertalli. And then coming up with number 4 is Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare. Number 3 is this one, which is Holding Up the Universe by Jennifer Niven. At number 2 is this one, which is You Should See Me in a Crown by Leah Johnson. And number 1 honorable mention is this one, which is Crooked Kingdom by Lee Bardugo. So now it is time for us to reveal my top favorite book of 2021. So are you ready? Ready? So my top 1 favorite book of 2021 is this book, which is Six Crimson Cranes by Elizabeth Lee. When I actually finished reading this book, I was really had a great time reading it. I actually saw a lot of reviews of this one. Others did not like it, others really love it. But for me, this is a solid YA fantasy novel. If you love fairy tales, go check this book, because I really did fell in love with the story itself. It is actually a YA fantasy novel. You are following Shiori Yanma, who is actually a princess in the story at the same time. She is being raised by the king and by her stepmother. So she has 6 brothers in the story. This world magic is forbidden because they are actually avoiding demons, like demon attack itself. So the conflict of the story is that our main character Shiori has a forbidden magic, and one day her magic slipped and her stepmother saw it, and her stepmother is somehow actually a demon itself. So she was cursed together with his brother. Her brothers became cranes, that is why it is called Six Crimson Cranes. And Shiori also has been cursed, and she has this kind of like bowl in her face that is somehow forbids her to use magic, at the same time forbids her to speak, because once she speak or like utter a sound, one by one her brother will die. So that is really the premise of this book, on how how this character, how Shiori will survive the curse, what she will do and stuff like that. It was really a good adventure story and a good fairy tale novel. And yeah, I really do enjoy this book so much. I am really waiting for the sequel that comes out this year. Like, everything that I wanted in a fantasy novel, in a YA fantasy novel, is already here, and I really am satisfied with the story. Look at my annotations. I really did annotate it so much. So yeah, if I'm going to recommend any fantasy book, this will be on my top list of fantasy recommendations. So again, this is my #1 favorite book of 2021. I did not expect that this one will be on my #1 spot, because Chain of Iron is actually hard to beat, because I really fell in love with that one, especially with Chain of Gold also. So yeah, but this one, definitely check this book if you love fairy tales, if you love fantasy books, and if you want a solid YA fantasy. Go pick this book. That's it. That is my top 10 favorite books of 2021 plus 5 honorable mention out of the 73 books that I've read last year, 2021. So how about you guys? What are your favorite books from 2021? You can comment down below and let's talk about it. I also want some recommendations from you guys. So yeah, I think that's it for my video. So once again, thank you for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more about my bookish side, you click subscribe, and I will see you on my next video. Bye!